Hi.
Hello.
How are you, beautiful?
I'm great. How are you?
I am fantastic, even better now that I'm chatting with you.
Yes, I'm happy to be with you too. Your hair is gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
You look
Your
so
face
great.
is amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
We
that.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, Candace, so much for being here. And while we have your ear and your time, we just want to get right into it. Can we do that?
I'm ready. Let's go. Let's do it.
All right, let's go. All right, so now, besides being a housewife, which is what I was just gushing about, you're not just a housewife. Come on, like that's like the least of things. You are an actress, a singer, diva, talented extraordinaire. You do so much. But now, like I mentioned, you're adding, of course, now you're adding actress to your bio, right? So what inspired you to take a step in that direction?
Yeah, so funny enough, I've been acting for a long time. I have an IMDb page that is readily available. I actually started in theater in middle school. And I did some theater in middle, some in high school, a little bit in college. And then I did my first web series called Pivot Point in 2013. And I started working with an acting coach. Before that, I didn't have an acting coach. I was really just sort of exploring the field and doing something that I loved. And after I did the web series Pivot Point in 2013, I got an acting coach and I started really intentionally honing my skills and wanting to and studying. And I'd always been studying, but really intentionally studying and trying to hone my skills and really make the best out of every experience. And everything was a networking experience. So meeting people, learning, scene study, just all the different nuances that come with being an actor. I started diving deeper into those. So I did Pivot Point, Tough Love, which is a web series that a lot of people know on YouTube. The creators are now in LA working on a Tough Love Los Angeles version. The original was set in New York. I did my first feature called Water in a Broken Glass in 2015, I think. That's available on Amazon DVD for DVD purchase now, and lots of other smaller projects. And of course now the Christmas Lottery on BET that airs tomorrow night at 8 p.m. I can add to my resume. I'm very excited about the film. It's an amazing, really funny, really dramatic, sort of gives you all the levels that you need in a Christmas movie.
Yes.
All of that. Yeah.
Oh, we're so excited. We're super excited. So speaking of your new film, I mean, you are now going to be part of the Christmas tradition. This movie might be one of the ones that we want to watch every year around Christmas time.
I know. I love that.
Isn't that special?
It's so incredible.
Could you tell us just a little bit more about the film and the role that you play?
Yeah, so the film stars Reginald VelJohnson, who everybody knows as one of your favorite TV dads from Family Matters. He plays our father. Myself, Asia Epperson, Brave Williams, we play three sisters. I play Tammy, the youngest sister. And the film, the premise of the film is really family. And any good Christmas movie, obviously you want it to have that foundation of family and love. And what I love about this film is that it really sort of highlights and mirrors what I feel like a lot of the dynamics that you find in a Black family, or especially around the holidays. So you've got, the older sister who thinks she knows it all and who maybe is a little bit resentful because her younger sisters were kind of jaunting off all over the world doing their own thing, while the older sister had to kind of stay home and hold down the fort with the family. You got the middle sister who's the diva and she's out in New York doing her thing. And then you have Tammy, the youngest sister, who is a musician. She sort of has a bad picker when it comes to men. And you get to kind of go on this journey with all of them. They all arrive to their parents' home in Houston at different places. And you get to go on this journey with each of the sisters, as well as the mom and dad. Our mother is played by K. Megan Washington. She's an amazing classically trained actor who brought such an authenticity to the set and to her character. And my boyfriend is played by Terrell Hill, who is an incredible actor, super funny, but it can also give you serious drama. It's just, it's got a great cast, and it's a great family movie that's going to give you so many levels. There's drama, there's sadness, there's a little bit of tragedy in it. You're going to get, of course, comedy. Rennie, who we've all seen on Wild 'N Out, and he's does comedy shows all over the world. Rob Gordon, who is also a comedian, who has a comedy show on Amazon right now, plays my other boyfriend, because Tammy has two boyfriends in the film. Don't judge me, judge Tammy.
Right.
It's an amazing cast. Tracy Braxton pops in and is hilarious. She's so funny. So it's a really great cast, and it's a really great story.
Wow, it sounds amazing, and I can tell you I will be watching. We're definitely looking forward to it. Now, most Christmas movies, you know, they have that very special message in the film. It's always like an underlying message, you know, that's supposed to just hit the heart. Would you say the same about this film?
Oh, absolutely. I think, like I said, the underlying message is the importance of family, and that no matter what, and there's so many obstacles that you'll get to see go on a journey, as I said, with us as we're sort of going through and crossing over all these different obstacles. One of the main ones, what brings all the sisters together initially, is money, is this idea that, you know, you've got the dad who wins the $10 million Lone Star Christmas lottery. Yes. The film is based in Texas, so they win the Lone Star Christmas lottery, and dad calls his girls and says, "I want you girls to come home so we can claim this prize together. But if you all can't get your acts together and stop fighting, you're not going to get any of this Christmas money." So it's the guise of, you know, receiving a monetary gift that brings everybody home. But of course, when they're home, and this is what's true to, I think, real life, anytime you go home for Christmas, it brings out so many different emotions, right? Like you can't be who you might be, you know, when you're living in your home or in your apartment with your friends that you've made, the village that you create when you leave home. When you come back home don't care. Home is going to treat you like, you know, the little girl that you were before you had eyebrows and lace front wigs. They don't care about any of that stuff. It humbles you to be home. And you see these girls, these sisters, sort of go through that journey of humbling themselves and realizing what's important. And maybe it's the money, and maybe it's something else. And that's, you kind of get to see them figure out what that journey looks like.
Wow. I can't wait to watch. That is beautiful. So I'm just curious, what is your favorite Christmas movie?
Oh my gosh, I was just talking about this. I just did the BET Instagram takeover, and I was talking about my favorite Christmas movies. So one of my favorites is this film called The Family Stone. It stars Diane Keaton, Rachel McAdams, like all-star cast. Yeah, and it's a beautiful family movie, and it's kind of sad. But again, it reminds me of real life. Something, what happens in that film is something that could happen in real life. I also love, and I just watched this Christmas with Chris Brown and Loretta Devine and Regina King. The scene where Regina King is like whooping Laz Alonso with that belt when he gets out of the shower. Iconic, crazy scene. Idris Elba is amazing in that film. It's a smaller film, and I don't think a lot of people outside of the Black community really have heard of it. But it's a classic. To me, it's a classic Christmas movie that mirrors, again, so many Black families and their experiences, especially around the holidays.
Absolutely. This Christmas is also one of my favorites. Absolutely, for sure. Now,
and A Christmas Story. The old school, the one with the you'll shoot your eye out, with the little boy that wants the little gun. I love that one. I love it.
Classic.
Yes.
Classic.
Can I, 1 second, I'm so sorry. My charger fell out of my phone and my phone is about to die. Like, this is my very first Instagram live. Let me pull my charger over.
No worries.
My phone before it dies. Okay.
Please back up a bit.
Here we go. Okay. I'm good. Okay. Ready.
Alrighty. Awesome. Are we good?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So we're wondering, how did the role of Tammy present itself to you?
Oh, that's a good question. So I got this script from my publicist, who had been reached out to by Maggie Francois, who was the casting director for the film. And I always say that she had such a vision for this film when she was casting, because the way that the three sisters were able to come together, but we bonded immediately. Myself, Brave, and Asia, we bonded right away. And it is a testament to casting and how well they learned the actors from our audition tapes. We self-taped, as as you do in COVID. There's no auditions are very scarce these days, in-person auditions. So after I was given the script, I actually read for the Nicole, who ends up being played by Brave, and then I read for Tammy. And what I loved the most about Tammy is that she's a dreamer, and there were some similarities, but I love the challenge because I'm not as much like Tammy as I would like. And that presents a challenge, because you really have to, find nuances to connect with, and like find clues in the script, to connect with this character. And, the one thing that we did connect on is I'm a musician, I'm a singer. I have music that you can download now on all streaming platforms. I'm working on new music right now. So the musician piece, we had that in common. And her being a dreamer and being, an eternal optimist and wanting to see the best in everyone. I connected with her on that. But outside of that, I did have to really get to know who she was and understand where she was coming from. I didn't really like that. Like, I'm reading and I'm like, why are you with this guy? She's with this, sort of opportunist named Spider, who's played by Terrell Hill, who's an incredible actor, amazing actor. But it was just like, I'm reading, I'm like screaming at the script, like, why are you dating this guy? Like, you are so much better than him.
Right.
But it was such a journey to like understand her. And I think she comes across as someone who maybe is a bit of an airhead, but when you really get to know her, underneath all of that is this strong, young Black woman who is figuring out her life and figuring out who she is and how she wants to get to where she's going. And you see her go through that journey. And by the end, she's arrived at this new place where she's content with where she is. And it's great that I got to go on that journey with Tammy, and then I get to really share that with an audience.
Wow, this is exciting. It sounds like your character just has a lot of dynamics. So it's exciting to get to see you kind of emote all this training, all of this experience in this film. So again, we are looking forward to it. Now, you've appeared in other projects like Water in a Broken Glass, which you mentioned earlier.
Yes.
So is this an industry that you could see yourself just taking on, full on, just continuing down this same path?
Absolutely. So I've said this many times to friends and family and in other interviews, but the platform that is Bravo TV has always been a springboard for me. And anyone who's ever asked me about, what's it like being a housewife, and how do I get on Housewives? And people ask me that all the time. And I always say, the platform is there for you to create whatever it is you want to create,
right,
and present yourself however you want to present yourself. And as much as the platform is going to use you, it would behoove you to also use the platform. And when I came into this journey and into this experience of housewifery, it was always it was always a vehicle to get me to where I always wanted to go. And that was on a journey within the arts, as an actor, as a singer, as a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. But being an actor has always been, I've always been an actor. And I actually struggled for a long time, even referring to myself as an actor, even after I had acting credits, because, you know, I always want to see myself as the best version of me, right? As most of us do. And it's like, okay, I'm not Kerry Washington yet, so I can't call myself an actor. But it's like, no, I have put in the work. I have trained, I have studied. I took the megabus to New York every week for 2.5 years for an acting class, and would come back at 4 a.m. to go to work. I've earned the right to refer to myself as an actor because I'm acting. And this has always been where I wanted to be, where I've wanted to be. And, you know, especially now being like on the cusp of the Christmas lottery airing, it airs tomorrow at 8 p.m. on BET. It's just like you can see, I feel like I can see that the best is yet to come for me within this field. And I'm excited about what the future looks like for me.
Oh gosh, and we're excited for you. We are. So, Miss Actress, if you could join any franchise, TV series, you know, movies, which franchise could you see yourself a part of?
So reality, you mean reality TV wise, or
just anything? So anything. Netflix, Hulu, whatever show, series that there is, where could you see yourself fitting in amongst the cast?
Yeah. So I used to like cry that I wasn't a part of the Scandal cast.
Ooh, that's a good choice.
I am so obsessed with Scandal. I love Kerry Washington. Okay. I love her as an actor, as a producer, as a director, I don't know her, but as a human, you know, just watching her and the way that she carries herself. I love her, and I loved her character on Scandal. I loved the writing on Scandal. Shonda Rhimes is a freaking genius. Yes. I've also always wanted to be, so funny story, my parents are physicians. I thought I was going to be a physician growing up. And then I discovered that I was not really good at math and science. They were not my friends. Right. And I had to kind of pivot, and that's how I ended up in communications, and I got a degree in journalism. But I always wanted to be a doctor. So if you can't be a doctor, what's the next best thing? To play one on TV. So I would love to be a part of a Grey's Anatomy type cast, or, you know, a new version of Grey's Anatomy, or something in that vein. I would love to play a doctor or a resident.
Yeah, you know what? Both of those choices I could see for you. Speak it into existence now. Yeah, Scandal is off the air, but Grey's Anatomy, now you could work yourself right onto that cast.
I believe in that so much. I believe manifesting and speaking what you want into existence, from my lips to God's ears, from your lips to God's ears. I hold on to that, you know, with every part of me. So thank you. Yes. I am speaking it. That's
yes. And we're gonna have agreement, and we're receiving with you. I can so see that for you. So now, besides acting, we're gonna switch gears just a little bit here. You are also a singer with a beautiful angelic voice. I mean,
thank you.
You have so many talents. Absolutely. Now, you have a single out, and it's called "I See You." Can we expect a full EP anytime soon?
Actually, yes, you can. So I wrote the original, the ballad "I See You" for my husband Chris when we got married two years ago now. And Chris was passing the single along to anyone that would listen. And it ended up in the hands of Chucky Thompson, who is an incomparable producer who's worked with everybody from Faith Evans to Mary J. Blige to Biggie to Nas to Usher. He is born and raised in Washington, D.C., and had a really close relationship with Chuck Brown, who is the godfather of go-go music, which is the official music of Washington, D.C. And I grew up in Atlanta, but I came to D.C. to attend Howard University. And one of the first memories I have of D.C. Was the go-go music. And it's just this very unique, percussion-heavy music that is so different that you know it as soon as you hear it. And it's actually the official music of DC, but it really is a huge part of what makes the DMV, or the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, the DMV. So when I was meeting with Chucky, we were talking about collaborating. I said to him, whatever we do, I need to do a go-go song at some point, and I would love for you to be a part of that. And he said, well, why don't we just remix your ballad into a go-go song? And I was like, okay, let's do that. You know, not knowing what he was going to come up with. And when he played, you know, that track for me, I gagged. And to this day, it's such a good song. It's just, and I'm really, really picky about my stuff. I'm my worst critic. I'm my harshest critic. And when I hear I See You, the remix, I'm like you can't help but like move. Like it gets into you and you got to move with it. So I'm really proud of that. And I'm really proud of the music I'm working on now. I was just in the studio on Wednesday this week, finishing up. I wrote and recorded a new song, and we cleaned up 2 songs that I had done several weeks back. And I have 2 more songs to finish. And I mean, it could be an album. So an EP is 3 to 6 or 7 songs typically. Anything more than that is what's called an LP, or an album, for those of you who don't know. So it could be an LP. Like if we end up using most of what I recorded, and I love everything that we've done so far. I'm working with some of the most amazing producers, co-writers. One of my vocal arrangers has worked with Beyonce, Rihanna, just amazing, amazing, talented people that I still can't even believe want to work with me. But it's been such a fun journey, and I'm really proud of the music that I can't even believe it's my music.
Wow.
It's so good. It's so good. So I can't wait for you guys to hear it. I'm so excited for you guys to hear it. And I'm hoping that I can release a single, hopefully in the next few weeks.
Fingers crossed.
And then the full project at the top of next year.
Wow, you're a busy, busy woman. We are excited. We're excited. I see your fans in the comments saying, please release that LP.
Yes.
Please.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah,
Absolutely.
And I just have to say, too, I have to thank everyone who has been so supportive of my 2 little songs that are available now on streaming sites. I still, to this day, people will, DM me, or they'll tag me in Insta stories, and they're listening to the song and they're jamming to it in their car, or they're in the house. And I see you, as the song says, I see all of you. And it's so humbling, and it makes me so excited to give you new music, because I just appreciate how much you all appreciate what I'm doing. So I want to make sure that you all know that. I love you guys, and thank you for supporting my music. It means the world to me. It really, really does.
Wow. Well, thank you. Thank you for giving it to us. Thank you for sharing it with us. I know a lot of artists are sensitive about their stuff.
Well, yeah.
That's a fact.
Yes.
That's a fact. But you are truly talented. So thank you. We can't thank you enough for bringing us new and exciting music. Thank you.
Yes.
Set it up. Now, I think you kind of talked about this a bit with your music and your acting, but I mean, what's next for Candace? What can we expect, immediately coming up in the near future for you?
Yeah, so as I said, you'll be getting an EP/LP in the near future. I'm
So
also really seriously contemplating a music video for I See You, the remix, because it's become sort of this DC anthem,
yeah.
and it really was my love song to DC. The original was my love song to my husband, and the remix became my love song to DC. So it makes sense that I would, give you guys a visual to go along with with the song. So we're talking about doing that. We are definitely releasing a single in the next few weeks, and we are definitely bringing the EP/LP later next year. I also have an episode on a Netflix series called Family Reunion, which stars Tia Mowry and Loretta Devine, Richard Roundtree. I actually shot that back in February, right before crazy COVID hit. And then, of course, they had to shut down production. They shoot on the Paramount lot in LA. And of course, they have, Loretta Devine and Richard Roundtree, these seasoned veteran greats that, can't be on a set during a pandemic. So they had to shut down. They just opened production back up about a month and a half ago. So I'm hoping that will air at the top of next year as well. I had just one episode, and I play this very pretentious French girl named Sunita Chanel, and she's very hoity and thinks that she's just God's gift and has this French accent. And it was so fun to play, to act in a comedy. I'd never done a sort of sitcom like that before. I always knew that I loved the dramatic field, but to do something in comedy I was nervous about. And I remember sitting at the table read, and I read my first line, and the room erupted in laughter. And I was like, oh, okay, I should get this. This is good. Right, I got this. So I'm excited for you guys to see that. And there's just so many things on the horizon. I also just feel like there's a lot more to come. I also have another feature project that I have to shoot 2 more scenes for that should be coming out next year. We're still waiting to announce what platform, but that is another project that I'm working on, and there will be others. There's lots of I got to get all this talent out, so I'm
get
going
it
to get it all out and share it with you guys.
Get it out. Skylar0174 basically took the words right out of my mouth. Booked and busy, and
yes,
that's a blessing. That is a blessing.
It is. 1000%. It is. Yeah.
So, when and where, and you've mentioned this pretty much several times throughout our chat this evening, but for those who are just joining us, and it does bear repeating, where and when can we catch the premiere of Christmas Lottery?
Yes. So the Christmas Lottery is airing tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern on BET. It's going to be it's such a good film. It's so good. I'm not just saying that because I'm in it. I would watch it. I feel like it's going to become one of my new favorite Christmas movies. And I feel like it has, hi, Benita. I'm seeing people I know in the chat. Hi, Benita. I feel like it has the potential to become one of those Christmas movies that, you got to watch every year, every season, to feel like you're getting into the Christmas spirit. It has all those elements. It's got, like I said, it's got the comedy, it's got the drama, it's got some sadness, but at the foundation, it's about love and it's about family. And at a time when, everybody has had a really difficult year, have had a lot of challenges, everybody, that has entered the chat has dealt with a challenge or a struggle. We all have in different ways. And what we need is a good old down-home Christmas movie to, take us away and remind us, that everything's going to be okay, and that challenges come, but they also go. And when they go, you get going. and you do
Yep.
what you got to do. And that's what this movie is about. It's about facing challenges, facing fears, and love.
Oh, wow. I cannot wait to see this. I'm so looking forward to this premiere. And like we mentioned earlier, it's so exciting for you to now be a part of the family Christmas tradition, you know?
Yeah.
Each year, this movie is going to come back around. You know, each year BET is going to play it. So
Yeah.
you're going to be a part of that tradition for Black culture. And that's so
crazy. Yeah.
crazy. Now, for those Real Housewife fans, we just wanted to ask you, when and where can we catch the premiere of the Housewives reunion?
Yes, good question. I actually, we just got the final cut of the first episode, the first first of 3 parts.
Okay.
Of the reunion. The reunion is going to be 3 parts. I just watched the first episode this afternoon. Mm-hmm. So the reunion will air this coming Sunday, starting this coming Sunday, I believe at 9, don't quote me, 8 or 9. I think they bumped us because Atlanta has now started. So I think they're at 8 and we're at 9, but please check your local listings. They're always changing that. So yeah, it's first episode it's a banger right out the gate.
I'm sure.
It's
you ladies never disappoint. You never disappoint.
Unfortunately, we do not. There is always something to talk about. There's always some drama and some clapbacks. I saw a clip of me clapping back today, and we filmed for 11 hours. So, I forgot most of what happened, or maybe that was like survival mode. I was like blacking it out,
right?
But I forgot most of what I said, and I'm like, oh my God, I said that? That's crazy. Yeah.
It be like that sometimes, girl.
Yeah. And it's better that way. Sometimes it's better to just block it out.
Just get detached from it altogether.
Yeah. My brain knows how much I can handle, and when I can't handle it, it's fight or flight mode comes in, and I'm flying. I'm getting out.
Yeah, and sometimes that's just for the best. That is. Yeah. All right. So, Candace, we have one more question for you. And honestly, it's probably one of my favorite questions because we get to hear your heart just a little bit with this question. Everyone, I feel like, is kind of doing this thing where we're giving each other our flowers today, right now.
Yes.
We're not waiting for that person that we care about to pass on to the other side. We're showing appreciation and love to those that we respect while they are here with us. So if you could give your flowers to anyone, not just an actor or anyone like that, but who comes to mind when you think of giving your flowers to someone?
Yeah. Well, so the first person that came to mind just now, and this may be a little trite, but is Kamala Harris. I think that, well, number one, she's a Howard alum, as I'm a Howard alum, so there's a lot of pride there. I'm not Greek, but a lot of my network, a lot of my family and friends are Greek. So from the AKAs that are so proud that their sister is now going to sit in one of the highest offices of the land as now VP elect of the United States. She is truly a testament to what resilience looks like.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me get myself together. Okay. Sorry. My dad called.
That will do it every time.
Yeah. And I think it just messed up the volume. But no, I was just saying, it takes a lot to, no one really understands what it takes to run for president. I worked on a presidential campaign as a field organizer. I worked in the White House before I worked on a campaign, and I that's just a very small witnessing to what it takes to fight to prove that you're worthy of being not just a public figure and a public servant, but an advocate and a liaison for an entire country. So the fact that this woman of color, this Black woman, this woman of color has stepped out on faith, on gusto, on moxie, to run for president, not when be, you know, plucked up to take on, you know, this incredible role and to take the helm as the first woman of color to serve as the vice president is just incredible. And I just admire her so much for always remaining positive, always staying above the fray, and just everything that she represents. I've always joked that her vice presidency almost sort of outshines President-elect Joe Biden, because it's just such a historic moment on so many levels, that I want to give her flowers while before she even really begins this journey, because it's not going to be easy. She will be criticized, she will be maligned, she will be, people will try to take her down and take her out at every turn. But you can just look at her and tell that she has what it takes to be prepared and to represent us well. And I'm just really proud that I'm alive to see it.
Same, absolutely. That was a beautiful answer. It was actually a little unexpected. Wow, Kamala, that was perfect. That's a beautiful answer. We've enjoyed you so much, Candace. You've been brilliant. Thank you. Thank you so much. And we would love to have you come back. You all,
I would love to.
Thank you. And you all, please make sure that you tune in to BET tomorrow night, 8 p.m.
Yes.
And catch the Christmas lottery. This is one for the family, one that you're not going to want to miss, one that's going to easily become a part of your new Christmas tradition. So make sure you sit down with your family and check it out. We're so excited for you, Candace.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me and for the work that you do highlighting people of color in film and cinema. It's important work. It's really what has always encouraged and inspired me to continue in this industry. And it's not an easy industry to be in, especially for people of color. So
True.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, no. There we go. Oh, well, we caught most of what you were saying, and I can tell you, thank you. We are so humbled and so grateful, and that's exactly why we do it, to highlight Black entertainment, because, you know, like you said, it is always a little bit harder for us. No, a lot. Let's not sugarcoat. It's always a lot harder for us to get the recognition that we deserve. So this is a platform for Black culture to shine in film and television. So thank you.
Amen.
And you all, please that you're following Candace on the gram. What other platforms can we follow you on?
So on Instagram at CandyGal09, on Twitter at CandyGal. My website. To visit, so he keeps calling. Can you hear me?
We're almost done, Dad. We're almost done.
So my website is CandiaceDillard.com. And you can follow my music journey. You can download all of my music on all streaming platforms: Google Play, Apple Music, iTunes, Spotify, all the streaming platforms. I'm there.
Perfect. We will definitely give you a follow. Make sure you give her a follow, you guys, on all of our platforms. And make sure you're following Black Cinema Now, of course. You can even follow me, HwoodGems.
Yes, I will definitely follow you as well.
Oh, you're beautiful. Thank you so much. We can't wait to have you again, and we really hope you enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you.
Same to you. Take care.
Take care.